Yeah, your boy, Patty Mahomes, baby. Patty Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl winners, Super Bowl champions 2023-24. And of course, cue up all of the conversation that is trying to project Patrick Mahomes as the greatest quarterback, greatest football player of all time. So that is what we are here to talk about. Um, we'll go ahead and dip our toes in the sports hot take pool here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so this story from Bleacher Report, obviously, because the more that this guy wins and succeeds, the more we are going to be talking about him being the greatest player of all time. So this from Bleacher Report says Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady comparisons tough because Bucks beat Chiefs in Super Bowl. After winning a third Super Bowl and a third Super Bowl MVP against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, Patrick Mahomes is certainly garnering comparisons to the legendary Tom Brady. Mahomes knows that Brady will always have something over him, though, as Brady beat Mahomes and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 55 in February of 2021. To me, it's always going to be tough because Brady beat me in the Super Bowl, Mahomes said after the game. That's something he'll always have on my head. Mahomes is using Brady's Super Bowl win over him as motivation, though. He knows if he wants to be in the same conversation as Brady or earn the GOAT status over him, he'll have to continue working hard and racking up rings. But it gives me something to strive for every single day, just chasing greatness, Mahomes said. Whenever I'm tired and I don't want to work, I know that I have to do it in order to be in moments like this. Mahomes certainly put together a GOAT caliber performance on Sunday. He threw for 333 yards and a pair of touchdowns on 34-46 passing, also picking up 66 yards on the ground. So, of course, all of the sports shows are running wild this week with Patrick Mahomes is at the very least the best player ever, if not already the greatest of all time.
Mhm.
Obviously, we have our love hate relationship with Tom Brady. But Tom Brady does have 7 Super Bowls and all of those accolades and the MVPs and the 5 Super Bowl MVPs and all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this ongoing conversation and where we sit in terms of this Mahomes status with regards to him being the greatest player of all time compared to the wonderful, majestic, always perfect, ever present Tom Brady.
The omnipotent. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
everywhere, bro.
yeah.
Hey, listen,
The
man.
omnipotent, and the omniscient Tom Brady.
Yeah, man. Listen. I know, bro. The golden child. Hey, one thing about it, if the golden child Tom Brady gets dethroned, I am not mad at that. That's one thing. Because I sat there and I don't have my Dolphins gear up here or on me at this time, but I dealt with those shenanigans for almost 2 decades, where the AFC East was, in my opinion, intentionally incompetent. On top of that, they were getting all the favorable calls. I could not stand it. Would Brady come in the clutch in the now he will be clutch. Now he'll make them throws. One thing about it, the referees can't throw the ball for you. So he can make those throws, he can make those reads. But what I witnessed for almost 20 years as being a Dolphin fan and dealing with this asshole is that he gets favorable calls that sway games. They sway them. Now, what difference does that make? It makes a big difference when you're getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It's a big difference when they have to create a whole new rule from some garbage that went on. So I sat there and I watched it. So is he good at what he does? Absolutely. But I take away at least 3 of those rings. At least. That's my opinion. And that's being modest. Now, on to Mahomes, who they're trying to make me hate. It's not happening. All right. The Taylor Swift madness is getting close. I was cheering against him. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but he
Any
ain't
other
got
con-
nothing to do with that.
yeah, but any
He
other
don't.
context, any other context, I would have been clearly cheering for the Chiefs because I like Mahomes. I like what they're doing. But But yeah, I was cheering against him this year because I didn't want the shenanigans. But yeah, here we are. Be that as it may, the guy was not. He's had good games all year, but he hasn't been Mahomes this year. I had to look it up right before I got started because I've been playing DFS all football season long, and he hasn't been hitting the 300-yard games like he normally does. So out of the, I don't know how many games they done played this year, 16, 17, whatever, 18. Yeah, that was only his fifth 300-yard game of the season. So he wasn't really doing that. He stepped up and he balled. And so and he made all the right plays. So I'm not sitting there hating or whatever, but throughout this season, I saw shenanigans. I saw no calls. I saw favorable calls on primetime games dealing with the Chiefs. And they were giving him the same treatment that they used to give. The only reason why I saw these favorable calls is because there's TikTok now and other outlets that show you this garbage. But the only reason why I saw the Tom Brady stuff and maybe not other people is because I'm a Dolphins fan and I was invested in what the Patriots are doing. And it often happened against us at times. So I'm saying all this to say is that he's getting the golden boy treatment. He is the new cash cow. He's the new Jordan. That's what uh, Romo said. He's the Jordan of football. He's a new Jordan of football. And why not? Why not have a superstar? So every era needs a superstar. They've just picked Patrick Mahomes to be the new GOAT. And sports media needs talking points to talk ad nauseum. So what do they got talking about now? Yes, LeBron's about to retire. Now we got Mahomes Brady debates. Let's talk about this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is the shenanigans. It's all hoopla. Is Mahomes awesome? I think he is. And is he on the trajectory to outshadow Tom Brady's career as far as metrics and all those other things are concerned? Yes, he is. So it would be arguable that he would be the best player of all time if he continues on his trajectory. So I'm here for that part of the conversation, but I did witness shenanigans this season, and I would be lying if I said I didn't. And I felt as though they got a nice streamline, a Tom Brady streamline to the Super Bowl this year. But this team was not that good this year. But they put it together at the right time. Let's say that. So what about you, man? What are your thoughts on Mahomes entering GOAT discussions with football Jesus, Tom Brady?
After after um after the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl that
Oh
year,
my God, bro.
that was when I turned the corner because it was giving me too much stress to constantly be on the edge of my seat hoping that the Patriots would lose in the Super Bowl. Seriously, it was raising my blood pressure too much. So I
Agreed.
said, you know what? These people keep winning. I am not going to burden myself with the agony of hoping that they lose. Rather, I am going to do a complete 180, and I'm going to actually root not necessarily for the Patriots because I don't like Belichick and I still don't like that organization, but I'm going to continue to root to see just how much Brady can run it up because I just got to a point where I just said, you know what, it's cool for me to see just how much this guy can run it up. Um, I had spent years upon years upon years praying to God that these people lose, and they would just win every year. And every time that they would win, I would have to deal with this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach for weeks because I have to sit around and watch the shows and read the articles and just listen to people lament Tom Brady being the greatest of all time. And it bothered me because at the time I was a huge Peyton Manning fan.
Mm.
So it's like I feel as though with my eyes when I watch Peyton Manning play, he's better than Brady. But I cannot back that up with all the times that the Patriots keep beating the Colts in the playoffs. And Brady kept winning all those Super Bowls. So, at first my breaking point was when they came back from 28. What were they losing 28-3 against the Falcons in the
Yeah,
Super Bowl?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then they came back and won. I'm like, how the hell do you let that happen? But I was still holding on. But once they beat the Seahawks, When Butler caught that interception in the end zone, and I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with the Brady stuff. I'm now Team Brady. I'm Team Brady. Having said that, Brady would go on to commensurately, um, you know, um, accompany the postseason accolades with individual awards, breaking touchdown records and yards and getting regular season MVPs. So at that point, I was like, okay, fine, I give up. And 7 Super Bowls, I just kind of feel like it's a mountain that's going to be difficult for anybody to climb. I think Mahomes can approximate it. And, I'm of the mindset that he doesn't exactly have to get to 7 Super Bowls because I don't think that that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I think what Brady did will never be
Don't think.
duplicated. No, I don't think so. I don't think somebody can win 6 Super Bowls, go to another team, and then win another one. That is so beyond the pale impossible to me. The only way that I can see anybody, let alone Mahomes, matching that is if the team is perfect on drafting and signing free agents and constructing contracts for the duration of his entire career so that every single year they can put that team in position to be there at the end. And I think even that, as great as that organization appears to be ran, is damn near impossible to do. You're gonna get somebody who gets hurt. There's gonna be injuries. Somebody's gonna leave. You're gonna get free agents who go to get a bigger payday. It's hard to sustain that. I really do think that what Brady's career encompasses is something that is damn near impossible to replicate. I just don't see it. So from that standpoint, I don't see Mahomes matching him in rings. But I think if Mahomes continues to do what he does with the counting numbers and can get into the ballpark of Super Bowls, like 4 or 5, it's a conversation that's worth having. But for me, I'm probably going to always give it to Brady because I look at it as an amalgamation of 3 factors: how good you are at playing, what your postseason success is, and what your individual accolades are. I think that when you amalgamate that with Brady, he comes out on top. And that's because the 7 Super Bowls is just so far ahead of anybody. But if Mahomes can manage to get himself to 5 rings, because he's going to get more MVPs and passing yards and all of these records and stuff. So if he keeps upping the counting numbers and he can get within the ballpark of the Super Bowls, like I said, around 5, I think he needs 5 personally. But if he can get to the 5 and he's breaking records and getting passing yard numbers and breaking touchdown passing records, and because I think he still has the record because he had 55 passing touchdowns his rookie year, I think. So I think he still has that. So if he keeps doing that and he gets to 5, because he's going to get Super Bowl MVP every time he wins a Super Bowl. So presumably that would be 5 Super Bowl MVPs. I think it's a conversation worth having, but reluctantly for now, I leave it in Brady's hands. I think it's a hard mountain to overcome. As much as it pains me to say that, because I spent so much of my formative years wanting him to lose until I
Oh
finally
my
stopped,
god.
merely because it was literally giving me too much physical anxiety to always be rooting against him. I got tired of it. So I turned the corner of him on him. And eventually, towards the end of his career, I really did come to find myself rooting for, like, I was rooting for the Bucks when they played the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. I was, honestly, because it was just cool for me to see this guy's going to get to 7. That's impossible. So I think it's worth a conversation if he can get to 5. But short of Patrick Mahomes having those 5 rings, I think it's Brady all day, as much as it pains me to say it.
Man, that's yeah, that's wow, you were cheering for him, huh? I mean, my thing was,
On the Bucks, the Buck
yeah,
when he was on the, yeah.
yeah, I guess I was in that boat. I just stopped hating him. I started appreciating what I was watching cuz I was seeing so many bad quarterbacks playing. Like right now this year, it was horrid. I mean,
Yeah, well,
it
yeah.
was backup central. I mean, third strings out there starting, and it was like against each other. This third string playing against that third string guy that should be in the XFL playing against this guy that should be in the CFL. It was disgusting. And and that slip started to happen while Brady was in his last years. And it was, I started appreciating what I was watching from the command of the game, him knowing what to do in situations. It was better to watch, honestly. And I'm not gonna hate on the Bucks, like it's a Florida team. So
Right.
get
Yeah.
it, so get out of my face. So
Yeah.
at that point when he left, I was like, damn, was it the Patriots why I hated him, or was it him? The man, because I'm not bothered by him as much anymore. They're winning, but I'm not bothered by it. It was different. It was weird. But yeah, it was just something about that organization, man. I just could not stand him. I still don't
And
like him.
the coach. It was all
Yeah,
of it. Yeah. And the cheating.
the
And the cheating.
cheating. it's
Yeah.
it's the cheating and the elitist behavior and the elitist fans. Hey, how's it feel now? Come on, man. I love it. Yeah, the New England people, man. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, interesting stuff, man. I would say that he does have the ability to do it. This year was a down year, if you want to be honest. So if he wants to get to 7, he got to steal some. This year was a steal. His team was not up to par at all. The defense got it together, towards the latter part of the season, which made them formidable because their offense wasn't doing what they normally do. And so, but yeah, you can consider this a down year. They beat Christian McCaffrey, Debo. People are gonna go running down the list of names on that team. Chase Young, Bosa, Fred
Yeah.
Warner. They got
Yeah.
monsters on their team. They should have lost handily, and they won with that roster. So this year was a steal, in my opinion. So he needs a couple more though to eclipse 7 or at least tie it.
Yeah.
And so hey, he won in a down year. Um if things if they, they're gonna have to replace Kelsey for sure. He was looking like a tight end in his 30s now. Like he was looking slower this year. So they need to get on that. But for the most part, man, if they can shore up that defense like they did, and just stay like animals and do the Tom Brady approach to where I have to elevate my team's play. And now I created this person called Amendola. I created this person called Wes Welker, even though Wes Welker was a beast. All right. But if he didn't go to any other team outside of the Patriots, he would have been practice squad. So Tom Brady and the Patriots wanted that situation, and he kept feeding the beast, and he got good. Edelman, all these dudes. So he's going to
Hmm.
have to do this with his Hartmans, his Sky Moores, his Noah Grays. He's going to have to
Hmm.
spread it out and do all of this. I mean, my goodness, MVS. My God. I'm not even a Packers fan, but it was a couple games this season. This guy drops 60-yard touchdowns. It's amazing. But I'll tell you what, if they can get more pieces on that roster, add pieces, add to Rice and Pacheco, they can mess around again. So next year, they'll
Yeah.
love that three-peat. So
Yeah.
we'll see what's going down, man. But I like his chances. He's still young in this curve. If he take it up to Brady's age at 40, he can crack that. We ain't dealing with a LeBron here. Why LeBron got to catch a stray? This kid wants to win, and he was calm. He was ready for the moment, and he performs. So I feel like he got it.
Well, also, yes, not to make this about LeBron, but
I had to throw that in there. My bad, Bron.
not to make it about LeBron, but Mahomes has been to what, 4 Super Bowls and
Three,
won 3 of them,
right? He ain't playing.
and LeBron's been to the finals 12 times and won 4. So the win-loss ratio doesn't favor LeBron.
Nah,
Um, Not to mention all the lucky breaks LeBron got along the way to his
yeah,
wins.
nah,
So
nah.
um, it's not a comparison. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be on board with this. Like, I don't think Mahomes has to get to 7. I just think he has to get to 5. Because, like I said, I think if he gets to 5 Super Bowls, which automatically by default means he'll have 5 Super Bowl MVPs. If you combine that with what will continue to be him with all of these records and counting numbers and yards and all of the stats and analytics and stuff that's going to favor him, Yeah, it's definitely a conversation worth having. It don't got to get to 7. It just has to get to 5, but his numbers would just be so superior to Tom Brady's. And
Mm.
then at that point, I think it's definitely a foregone conclusion. But yeah, I agree. The good thing about this is that I don't dislike Patrick Mahomes, which I'm glad about that.
Yeah,
Because
me
yeah,
too.
when Tom Brady was on the Patriots, it literally like I had ulcers
No,
dealing with that. You
no,
know,
seriously.
I mean, literally, as a Miami Heat fan, when we won the championship in 2006, that was a wonderful moment. I'll never forget that. I don't really care about the LeBron titles because I don't like LeBron. So those are whatever.
It's
But
fair.
the 2006 championship, that was a very happy moment for me.
Mm.
But when the Patriots lost in 2007 to the Giants,
Oh,
that
bro.
is that that is to this day the happiest moment of my life as a sports fan. I've never been
Bro.
happier. I have never been happier than when Plexico Burris caught that touchdown pass in the end zone and the Giants won that game. What was it? 17-14 was the final score
Uh,
against the Patriots that year. That's the happiest I've ever been as a sports fan. That is how much pressure I felt rooting against these guys all the time. And I don't really feel that against Mahomes. When the Chiefs win, I'm like, okay, cool, because I don't really got an issue with Mahomes, and I like the coach. Like I like Reed.
right,
I
like
don't really dislike the organization. I really don't. The
right.
media dick writing is annoying as always. That's always going to be annoying. But I don't really dislike anybody on that team or the coach. And it was the complete opposite for the Patriots. The complete opposite.
Yeah, they were the dark lords, and I just couldn't stand those bastards.
They were the Galactic Empire. Yeah, they were. They were. But yeah, man, shouts out to Mahomes, man. Congratulations to the Chiefs and all that good stuff. Here's to you getting to 5, bro. I think once you get to 5, JB Wins will be saying you're the greatest ever. I know that much. You don't got to get to
Yeah,
7.
same here,
Yeah,
bro. Same here, bro.
yeah.